So we will be starting with the ground rules. So again, you all might be on the mute. Okay, so the procedure we will follow or how we conduct these training is, first I will be explaining a topic. It is not like a webinar that I would be explaining a topic for 40-45 minutes and then we would be doing an interactive sessions. It's not like that, but it's like that. I will be explaining a topic for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then we'll be quickly going into interactions where the question answers would be happening. By the meantime, if you have any question, please keep on writing your questions into the chat window or keep on writing your question into the question and answer window. Okay, whichever window you are able to see it, please write your question and answers there. Why we follow this? Because we have found that people face a lot of difficulty when they revise the videos. If it is a continuously interactive session and when you revise your video, you want to quickly see that 15-20 minutes you want to revise the topic. But if it is continuously question and answer session and the explanation is going on, so you don't understand that if you want to revise the topic, which part you need to go through. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have any question, if you want to speak. Once mic control has been given to you, very important guys, we face a lot of issues in all of the sessions we conduct. Once mic control has been given to you, make sure you put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Otherwise, we'll be having a lot of background noises, unwanted noises. So make sure that you keep yourself muted if you are not speaking. Once we are speaking, please don't overlap, give chance to other people first. Speak one by one. Everyone would be giving a chance and everyone would be having the opportunity to speak up. We would be giving you access to our website, sastrageek.com. And offline, when you are studying, you are going back through the videos or you are reading the books, you would be able to go through, or you would be able to put your question and queries in the forum, so that you will not wait for the full week, because it's only the weekend sessions. You will not wait for the full week to get your question and query answered. So first, what I'm going to do, I will give you a quick overview that how you would be, how the meetings links and all the other stuff would be shared with you. The people who have already enrolled, okay, they might have received an email to sign up on the Sastrageek website so that we can provide access. So I will quickly show you. So this is the page access we have given, sastrageek.com, slog, April 20. Okay, so once you have, once you will go through this link, system will be asking you to sign up on the website. Once you will do the sign up, our admin people give you access to this page. So here, all the information about the sessions which you needed, it would be available here. What is the batch timings? Batch timings, please make a note for the people joining from India side, is 6:30 a.m. Okay, from the Western side, the timing would be in the evening, 8 p.m. So we are conducting these sessions 3 days a week till the time the lockdown situation is there around the world. For India, it would be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning. For US, it would be Friday evening, Saturday evening, and Sunday evenings. Okay. Once this lockdown is over, we'll convert into only a weekend sessions, which will happen only Saturday morning and Sunday morning for India, and Friday evening and Saturday evening for the US people. The meeting you want to join, you will be getting a Zoom link here. I would be updating after the sessions. I would be updating what are the topics has been covered and what topics we will be covering in the next session. So that I would be updating after the session. Once we take, generally we say 24 hours. Once we have a session to get the video available to you, it takes 24 hours. But generally it happens with between 12 to 14 or 8 to 10 hours generally. You would be able to put a video link here which you would be able to click and review your video. The session notes would also be shared with you. For the session notes, you need to click it here and you would be able to go through with the session notes. Okay, the scribbling which I do or anything we noted down in the session, you would be having the hyperlink here which you can click and you would be able to get the information from here. Only thing which is not there, we'll be adding it tomorrow, or we'll be giving a separate access to you guys, the people who have enrolled, access to the Google Drive where all the readable materials and books would be there. Okay, there is some issue with the Google Drive today. I will show you in the tomorrow session what are the books has been given, and we'll go through that folders so that the people who have already enrolled, they would be getting access for that by tomorrow. If you have any generic question, you can go to the contact us and type your query here, generic questions or queries, or you can always contact to this number. Okay, this is our support number, which is only available on WhatsApp as of now. You will not be able to call. You can give a WhatsApp call to them. You can put a WhatsApp message. If you are facing any issue in joining this meeting, you can text on this. Or you can also always drop us email at support@sastrageek.com. If you are looking for a instant response, we prefer to send a WhatsApp message on this number. For server issue, server request, this would be given on demand. You need to request it whenever you are ready to practice the server, and when we have shared the exercise, you can put it down here, your information, your message, whether you want to request for server or if there is any issue with the server issues, you can put it from here. All of the queries and questions which people has put it up, the latest queries and question, you would be able to see here below, right? So let's say you are going through over a week, you are going through in the question and you are going through the videos and you got some question. So you need to go here on this link, post question and queries. It will take you to the forum and you can create it here, a new post. You can start a simple discussion or you can also ask a question. If you want to share some knowledge, you can also use this platform to share your knowledge by putting a starter discussion. Okay. So please use this forum to put your question and answers, to put your question and queries. So this is the basic stuff which we need to do every day. If you want to searching for a meeting link, no need to message anywhere, just go to this page and you would be able to get all of the information regarding the training which you require. Okay, now I will take a quick pause before I start any topic. If anyone has any generic question and queries, you can ask it now before I switch to the topics. I'm doing unmute all. Okay, please mute yourself.
Right. Click on that. Activate.
So you can unmute yourself. The access has been given. If you have any question at this point of time, please raise your hand. Okay. Please raise your hand so that we can answer. I can provide the answer. Okay. So if we don't have any question as of now, I will proceed ahead with the topics. Okay, so the first topic which we are going to cover is SAP Generation Shift. How SAP has shifted its gear. So we'll be quickly going through the history so that we can put all of the people on the same page, that how SAP has shifted its gear, why it has moved to S/4HANA, how it has started a journey. So I would be quickly putting you on that roadmap journey of SAP. Okay. So let me use this pen. SAP journey. So SAP basically started their journey with R2. The people who are there in the business for a long time, during 1970s, SAP started their journey with R2. So R2 is their first solution to the business, which covers the different applications and the different modules was covered in it. It was basically on mainframe. Why it is called R2? Because it was called real-time two-tier architecture. What was the two-tier architecture basically? So basically it was having one presentation layer which was getting connected to the database layer. That was a two-tier architecture for SAP R2 in 1917 when SAP has started. So what was the that was a very basic simple but system, but what was the drawback in this system was its user interface. User interface was very poor. Kind of a black screens was there, which was very difficult to work. Its integration also was very poor. Integration with multiple systems was very poor. And the another issue was speed and performance. Those were the issues which was there in R2, and the SAP started their journey in 1970s. Then they came up with another product during 1990s. They came up with another product which is R3. In 1990s, SAP come with R3. R3 was their real-time three-tier architecture. So in the three-tier architecture, what they have put it, they have put it one presentation layer, which was already there. Then application layer and DB layer, database layer. So this was the three-tier architecture R3, where they have added an application layer in between. Now SAP actually got a big hit into the market with R3. It became very popular in the market with the R3 with the kind of solution it was having. So when they added an application layer, what they have tried to do, they have tried to increase the performance by reducing load from the database. So what is the application layer? Application layer is basically where all of your ABAP code is sitting. That is your application layer, as simple as that. So they have put it the database into the database platform, and coding has been gone, all the business logics has gone into the application layer, and then we are having a presentation layer. So by doing this, it was quick to get access to the code to the application layer. And what has increased in this? Your performance has increased with R3 compared to R2. Although if you will compare to the today's technology, you would say that R3 was having a poor performance, but compared to R2, its performance got increased. SAP also did a lot of improvements. Your GUI, the user interface got improved with the GUI, graphical user interface, came up into the picture. Then your integrations got improved. Your iDocs comes into the picture. ALE come into the picture, which improve the integration within the SAP applications, within the SAP products, and outside the platform also. Web-based approach also, it did not become very famous, but it started coming in the same area. SAP also started working on web-based integration and interfaces with SOA platform within the R3 itself. Okay, That was their shift from R2 to R3. Then another generation shift come from R3. They went into ECC, enterprise core component. Enterprise core component, I hope that everyone in our meeting who is there in our session, I think everyone has worked on ECC, enterprise core component. So that was launched somewhere around 2004. So in ECC, what they did, why it is called a central component, enterprise core component, because of the plugin interfaces. So SAP started their integrating their another products as a plugin interface, let's say SRM, CRM, then your APO or another SCM applications that they started integrating this with your ECC systems with the plugin interfaces. Apart from that, a lot of another technology development also happened with ECC. The OOPS ABAP concept got strengthened. Okay. Then we also had WebDynpro coming into the picture. We have another technology to do the coding is Floor Plan Manager to have more web-based interfaces. Your NetWeaver Business Client come into place with ECC. With NetWeaver Business Client, you was able to work on ECC on a web platform. So all of your transaction was converting into the HTML web platform, although the look and feel was more or less same. For the transaction, it is not simplified for web, but you was able to access ECC on web by using NWBC, NetWeaver Business Clients. Apart from that, they have also worked between this area. They have also worked on their best practices. Okay, industry specific solution also they have worked intensively. So that was the area which SAP has worked during this. They also prepared their building blocks. So all these materials are available online, which you can freely access the business best practices. We'll be going through all of this terminology. If it is new for you, during one of our session, we'll be going with this technology. Okay, so this is we call it as a first generation R2. Then SAP moved to the second generation R3. Then in the third generation, they moved to ECC. Now it comes to the fourth generation. And what is the fourth generation of SAP? The fourth generation is basically your S4 HANA. Okay, simplified 4 HANA, or people also call it as a fourth generation of HANA. Now, what comes with S4 HANA? So S4 HANA comes during 2015. So between this also SAP has done a big journey from 2010 to 2015. They have done a 5 years of journey to come to S4 HANA. They launched multiple products that we'll be discussing in the next slide. They also introduced your BW HANA, HANA as a database, different products has been introduced, which we'll be discussing in the next slide. So in 2015, they come up with S4 HANA. One thing you need to note it down, they have used the word HANA here. Okay. So what is a HANA? So although I will be explaining later in detail, but HANA is nothing but a database. Okay. Now you will see that these all also are working on a database layer, R2, R3, ECC. They are working on a database layer, the traditional database. But SAP has never used a name of a database in its product's name. But here they have used S4 HANA. Why that? Because whatever the changes SAP has done during R2, R3, ECC, whatever the changes I have mentioned here, or the drawbacks which got improved with the multiple things, you will notice one thing. What is that one thing? Whatever the things they have changed in the programming. They have not changed anything to the database. I hope you guys are able to hear me. The panelist, Arsh, or anyone can confirm?
Yes,
I
we
got
can
some.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. So the applications, they only change. They only work on the programming part. But by working that many number of years, SAP understood if they want to drastically improve, okay, the things, they cannot answer it by only changing the programs, by creating a new applications. They also, whatever the business requirement and demands was there, to answer them, they need to also change the database. There are huge amount of business requirements which SAP was not able to answer because its database doesn't support. Okay, that's why the revamp of the database was so much required, and SAP developed their own database. HANA is their own database, which has been developed by SAP, which work on the in-memory platform. So in the tomorrow session, we'll be going for the basics of HANA database, uh, just the basics one, so that you can understand what is SAP HANA. So with introduction of SAP HANA, SAP was able to do all of the things which was required for business. I will just give you example that all of these tools, okay, all of these tools which we have, they are on OLAP, not AP, OLTP. What is OLTP? OLTP is online transaction processing system, where basically you do your operations. R2, R3, ECC was considered as your online transaction processing systems. SAP wants to club your OLAP, online analytical processing, with OLTP, online transaction processing. Transaction processing is as simple as that you create a sales order, you create a purchase orders, that is your transaction processing. Analytical processing is basically your reporting capabilities. Okay, your decision making capabilities is your analytical capabilities. Till ECC, the SAP system, the ECC system is only considered as a transactional processing system. It can only do the transactions. Just to give you an example, so we were using a ECC, okay, and we went to SAP. We said that we want to collect the data from the different places and we want to generate our complex reportings. Can we do that? SAP said yes, yes, you can do that. And what is the solution? They said you can do that, but you need to buy a new product, a new infrastructure. In BW, you can do that. Don't use ECC for that. Okay. Then we knocked the SAP door again. We said, now we have a requirement. We need to create interactive storyboards, dashboards, and analytics on from our data. Can we do with SAP? SAP said, yes, we can do it. But how we can do it? We need to put another infrastructure, another product you need to put BI onto that. ECC, you cannot do it. We come up with another requirement. We want to do the advanced planning. Can we do with ECC? ECC, by the way, it's not a planning tool. It's only the operation tool. It comes with a very basic feature of planning, which is your MRP. Other advanced feature, if it is related to the capacity planning, constraint-based planning, detailed scheduling, it doesn't provide that options. So what is the solution for that? As if we said, we provide it, but again, you need to put a separate infrastructure, separate team, separate project. You need to implement APO. Then we said that our warehouse are getting bigger and bigger. We need a intelligent system to manage our warehouses. SAP said, you are the right place, sir, but you cannot do it on ECC. You need to do a separate project, separate infrastructure, separate team. You need to put another thing, EWM. Same thing they said for TM. So initially I was thinking about, that SAP wants to sell their different products. That's anyway the reason is they want to sell it. But the another reason is this all cannot be combined together. You cannot combine all of them together in ECC because the major constraint is your database. Your database is not capable to run that number of algorithms, to run that number of programs, and to handle that number of users on an interface to answer their queries and questions generated through the reporting. Your database is not at all capable. That's why in ECC, you cannot put all of these things together. So that's where basically in S4 HANA, they are trying to put OLAP system, OLTP system, and even your planning engine together in a single system. And how they are able to do it? They are able to do it because of the capabilities which has given by a HANA database. That's why the HANA database is so important, and that's why it has been introduced in the product name itself. You people who has worked on the MRP, they might be knowing that even we said it's a basic and very simple planning. Your ECC system takes some time. In a complex system, 2 to 3 hours to run the MRP. Okay, although it's the basic stuff. If you put all the advanced stuff in ECC, it will just crashed. It will just crash. You might be having experience running some little bit complex report, and then you will be getting this hover signal round, and round. It's not responding, right? So all of this basic issue, SAP understand that they need to have a advanced hardware that is a database. So that's why they work first on the database, and then they put it this S4 HANA product. So S4 HANA product was launched in 2015. It has a different version. So the first version is 1511. So what is 50? 15 is year, and 11 is the month with which month it got launched. This is one of the certification question which is asked in every certification, whether you get Activate, SD, MMPP, they are asking this question. What the version means? 2 digits is a year, and next 2 digits in a month. And SAP say that their innovation journey has to be the continuous innovation journey. They work on the agile method where they are keep on improving. So every year they are improving their product, and they are coming with the new version. Next version comes 1610, then 1709, then 1809, and right now we are on 1909. 1909 means it's launched in the 9th month of 2019. It was launched. Okay, that's the version is 1909. So there basically SAP switched to S4 HANA, and it will be a continuous journey where every year a new product would be, a new version would be introduced. Somewhere you would also be getting some another version names. Let's say 1708. Okay, so when you see this kind of version 1708, this is basically SAP with SAP S4 HANA. They have two solutions to it. They have added two products to it: S4 HANA on-premise and S4 HANA on cloud, on public cloud. So their public cloud is having upgrade every quarter. So public cloud is getting innovated every quarter. In 1 year, you will be having 4 releases for the public cloud. But for on-premise, there would be a single release every year. Every year, there would be a single release. So we will be having this training on on-premise system. Okay, and we will be working on 1909 version. Okay, guys, I will take a quick pause on the SAP journey. I have explained you all of the SAP journey, how SAP has shifted their gears. If any one of you has any question, you can raise your hand and unmute yourself to ask the question. By the time I will be storing the screenshot of this scribbling to give you the session notes.
Yeah, hi Parminder, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Pramod here. I had a question on this version upgrades.
Mhm.
So, like now, I think in S4 HANA, there are 2 to 3 version upgrades. So, as you might be aware that like at client's end, if they go with say 15.11, and now every year if they keep on upgrading, how big is this change at client's end? Do they have to do testing and everything every time, or what are the level of uh, what is the level of impact at clients end? That's what I was thinking here.
Okay, I got your question. So basically, at the client ends, the clients are not, when SAP is improving every year by year, the
Hmm.
client are not improving every year by year. So a company has gone with SAP, let's say S4, uh, SAP S4 HANA 1610. It doesn't mean that next year they will jump to 1709 and the next year they will jump to 1909. It doesn't happen. So when you have gone to 1610, going to 1709 is always optional. And in my experience, I have not seen any company who is jumping every year because it's not possible. It has a cost included to it. You need to do a mini project to change the version shift. Okay, so each and every company is not doing each year by year. So basically, for the on-premise, the companies jump once they have implemented 1610. In every 2 to 3 years, they do a jump. So you can jump directly from 1610 to 1909. Okay,
Okay.
so this jump has a cost impact to it. So you need to have, although it's not a very big jump, it's not a jump if you will compare a jump from ECC to 1610. This is a big project. That much effort is not there. The effort would be that much, but that much effort you need to put it. So to do this, what is the impact? You need to do a mini project. You need to do the testing apart from the conversion, which you will be doing with the technical team. You also need to do the testing thoroughly so that you make sure that everything, all the basic scenario which was working in the previous version are working in the new version. Okay, SAP is saying, although it's not very confirmed, that by 2020 you would be having one version which would be mandatory to go before you jump to the next version. So they are having in between the milestone versions. This is still need to be confirmed. In 1610 they were saying that 2020 would be a milestone version, okay, which you need to go to it before you jump to the another version. So 1610 to 2020 and then next two, this would be a milestone, but still not confirmed, fully confirmed by SAP. But otherwise, you can jump to any version, but yes, it has an impact and it also has a cost associated to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so this means like okay, from 1610 to 1909, there might be some functionalities which a 1610 client will not have if he has not upgraded to 1909, right? Including
Yes,
all the.
every functionality, every version comes with the new functionalities. And they also come with the new user interfaces and Fiori applications.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is different from our regular patch upgrades in between.
This is difficult from the patch upgrades. That's right.
Different. Yeah, okay.
It's kind of a, see, ECC to S4 HANA is totally a different. It's not a patch upgrade.
Okay.
From one version to another version, you can say it's a kind of a patch upgrade, but the testing which is required, although we don't go to the business users, the internal IT team can do that testing. The testing is a little bit more. We need to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Parminder.
Yeah, hi, Samrat. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Currently, actually, I have worked with a project where actually the version was 1610, but the database actually, which you said that it is a 1610, it is in on-premise, but the database here which we have observed, it is in cloud. So how is
Hmm.
possible that in 1610 they done the HANA database in on cloud instead of having on premises?
Yeah, so we will be having one session on the cloud computing where I would be explaining you the difference, but quickly answer your query. Your database on cloud, there's two things. One is the database is on cloud, and second thing, your product is cloud.
Okay.
These are the two different things. You can use a database on cloud and you can install any version, any on-premise. So we are talking about the product, not the database. So S4 HANA, your 1610 is an on-premise product, which you have taken a database on hire for, let's say, for AWS. From Amazon Web Services, you have hired the database and you have installed your S4 HANA on-premise product. Then we have another product, S4 HANA public cloud. So
Okay.
this is a separate product. So that is the difference.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so your database is on cloud, but you have all the authorizations for 1610. You have a licensed version of 1610. You can do all the changes. Your product is on-premise licensed version. This would be your product is cloud. It's a subscription base. SAP handles that product, and your database is also on cloud.
Okay. 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 Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Parvinder, I have one question.
Yes.
Can I go?
Yeah, please go ahead.
You have multiple, you talked about a system with the plugins. In ECC, typically we have ECC GTS as a plugin, or a retail system as a plugin, and a APO as a plugin. When you go for this HANA, is it required that everything is switch on and switch off at one time, or maybe I will try my retail system, IS retail first in HANA, and then go with my core system, ECC or a APO later? Is that possible, doing it in a phased manner, or it should be all a big bang approach?
It should be the phased approach. The big bang approach is too risky. I also involved in doing strategy consulting for the companies, where basically we put the IT strategies. So none of the place we recommend to go as a big bang, because it's a too risky, it's a too big project, and you are putting all of your products and systems on risk by trying to do a big bang. It's always preferable in the current scenario, go agile and do the changes step by step.
Okay, without like I had few more follow-on questions. Maybe I'll not take it now because it'll interrupt this one. Yeah, thanks for that. We'll just go through. Maybe you'll answer this in the coming session. Maybe I don't want to just derail it right now.
Okay, sure. No
Yeah,
issues.
thank you.
No issues. Yeah. Samrat, your hand is still raised. Do you still have any question? Okay, we'll move ahead. So this was our how SAP has shifted the gears. Now we'll quickly go to our next part. Now we'll be discussing about, so far we have discussed about how SAP has shifted their gaze to the S4 HANA, from R2, R3, ECC to S4 HANA. But it doesn't directly reach to S4 HANA. It has also done a journey within HANA itself. Multiple products have been introduced. Okay, so that we will be discussing now in this slide. So one thing I want to make it clear that the different people are having these questions, even though people are working on the product. Guys, please make yourself on mute. If you are not speaking, please make yourself on mute. Thank you. Yeah. So all the people are working on the different HANA or S4 HANA projects. Still, I see the confusion in the terminology. It's not the fault of the people, but it's a more fault from the SAP side also, that they have actually introduced a lot of terminology to confuse the people. So still people, when I take the interview, I found that still people are not clear between these terminology, what do means what. Sometimes people call it HANA. Some people call SOH, suit on HANA. Some would be calling it simple finance. Then there is a terminology S4 HANA. Then as we discussed, on cloud. What is on cloud? What is on premise? Then one terminology which I have answered in our demo session is simple logistics. Then there is a terminology called sidecar. Then BW on HANA. So there are so many terminologies are there, and people are not clear with this terminology, that what do they mean actually. So that's what we need to make sure, that when we are starting, we will be repeatedly, I would be repeatedly saying HANA, S4 HANA, or simple logistics. I just want to make sure you guys doesn't get confused with this terminology. So after today's session, if you go and discuss with anyone, you would be able to explain everyone very clearly that what are these terminologies and how different they are with each other. Okay, so we'll discuss this terminology, that what is HANA, what is suit on HANA, what is simple finance. Even there's another terminology, central finance. What is central finance? All of the terminology we'll be understanding in this session. Okay, let's move ahead. So SAP HANA come into the picture during 2010. Okay, it's not like that in we are in 2020, the HANA is a new thing. HANA is quite an old thing. SAP is almost working on HANA concept somewhere around 2005. Okay, almost it's now 15 years old when they started. But they launched their product, the first product which they have launched as SAP HANA. Let me use some other color. Yeah. The first product which they have launched was SAP HANA. So SAP HANA itself is a product. Okay. What is this product? What do SAP HANA means? SAP HANA means simply a database. As you have Oracle databases, right? So you use those databases, same as first thing SAP launched. They launched as a SAP HANA as a database, which anyone can use. If you are developing your own product, you are developing your own application, and you need a database, the same way you go and pick it up a database from the Microsoft or the Oracle, you can also pick it up HANA database, and you can develop your own application. HANA doesn't mean that it will only work with SAP. Any applications can be developed on SAP HANA, which is basically a in-memory database. So that was the first launch of SAP HANA during 2010. So I have also worked on one of the products development, where basically we developed a sidecar product for by using SAP HANA. So that was not a SAP product, that's a third party. We used SAP HANA as a database on AWS, Amazon Web Services, and we developed our own products on analytics by using web as an application there. Okay, so that what we have done it. So that when SAP has launched SAP HANA, it was just a database which anyone can use. In between, before SAP has moved forward, the question comes that how current existing SAP clients can get benefited from SAP HANA. I am on ECC, I am using the Oracle database. Okay, they have launched SAP HANA. So what does it mean to me as a SAP client? What we can do? So to give benefit to the SAP customers, they come up with the sidecar scenario, and they also come up with the another terminology which is called HANA Live. Okay, so I will explain you a little bit here that what is a sidecar. We will discuss here what is the sidecar scenario. The sidecar scenario is the first usable scenario which came up after 2010, and it got hit into the market. Many companies adopted this scenario, and some companies are still adopting this scenario, although we are on S4HANA. So what do this sidecar means? Sidecar means we are working on ECC. With our any XYZ database. Okay, and then SAP come up with a new database which is HANA. So SAP said that you are working on this ECC X database system. This is your OLTP system. You use HANA database for your OLAP functions. That is the analytical processing. And they integrated these both of them. They provided a solution which is called SAP SLT. SAP Landscape Transformation is a separate product which has been acquired by SAP. So with this, what they said that you keep on running on ECC without touching it. And with SLT, there is kind of a plug-in functionality when you integrate with SLT, and you integrate with SLT with HANA database. It's very quick to integrate. It will replicate your tables, your database tables, let's say your VBAP, VBAK table, it will replicate on the HANA database. Okay, and this replication would be a very quick replication. It's near real time. Somewhere from 10 seconds to 1 minute of lag can be there to optimize the performance, even though you can reduce this lag to 1 second. But generally to reduce lag, we put a lag of 10 seconds to 1 minute. With the lag of 10 seconds to 1 minute, your not all the tables, your selected tables on which you want to generate your analytics can come to your HANA database, right? So any sales order which is created here, any production order which is created here, or any purchase requisition which has been changed here, it will also change in the HANA database. Then in HANA database, you can create some views. You can create your own views, or SAP has also given out of the box views, which is called HANA Live. I will not confuse you by saying a view. When we say view, it is just combining table to give you reporting. It is like that you have combined VBAP table with VBAK, okay, and then you have also combined these tables with your customer master data table, and you have also combined with master material master table. So when you combine all of these tables, it generates a view. So that view is just a logical structure. It doesn't store any data. It's just a command which when you will run, it will combine it and get the data for you. So that views also SAP said that, okay, that default reporting views we provide through HANA Live. And then you can connect with any BI, for example, Lumira, to generate your dashboards, to generate multiple kind of graphs and reports you can generate through Lumira. So that was the sidecar scenario. I have given example of Lumira. You can also use another BI tool for that. So what advantage companies has taken that without shaking their ECC. Now any report even you need to develop in ECC, first it takes a longer time. The performance is lower because of its traditional database capabilities. And second thing is that you need to go with the cycle of release cycle of your ECC, which is generally in companies once in a month release would be there. You need to, any new report you need to generate, you need to wait for 1 month. Here it is not like that you are doing all your reportings, all your changes here, and you are not impacting your operations. So without touching your main car, so this is called your main car. Without touching your main car, you have created a sidecar here to do your reporting. And because it is happening on HANA database, your reporting would be very fast and very quick. So you can do a real-time reporting. Okay, the lag would be 2 to 5 seconds only, but real-time reporting you would be able to generate it to provide to your operations. So this is a example for HANA Sidecar. Before I switch to the another products, I will take a quick pause here to check if anyone has any question till this time.
Parminder, this is Puneet speaking.
Yes, please go ahead.
One thing is that first of all, that I'm not seeing the hand to raise. I'm not able to see the hand to ask the question, number one. The second, the question is that, and one gentleman was asking whether other plugin system like APOs, CRM, SRM can go to phase-wise or a Big Bang. I'm just wondering if suppose ECC has been upgraded to S/4HANA, then how the other system will work phase-wise actually? Any idea you can give me?
Yeah, sure. I can answer that question. But if anyone else is having a problem to raise hand, I see some people has raised hand.
Yeah, hi Parminder.
Yes. Yeah, Samrat.
Yeah, Parminder, in case of this sidecar scenario, the data will be there in our XDB part or it will be in HANA data?
Okay. I think the question first was asked by Srijan. Srijan, my team member Arsh would be helping you to for this functionality of raising a hand. Okay, just give me a minute.
Actually, Sijan is my son's name, so I'm sorry
Okay,
that
sorry.
I'm using his Zoom session. Actually, he joined some school.
Okay, so your good name is Rath, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so Rath, just hold on. First, I will answer the Samrat question because it's on the sidecar scenario. So Samrat, your question is, what happened to the data? Whether data would be there on X database system or HANA database system. So to answer your question, the data would be replicated from X database system to HANA database system. Okay, so data is also there in X database and data is also there in HANA database. So that is where basically this sidecar scenario actually increase your data footprint. Okay, the data would be there in the both. So that's why we bring only the selective data to the HANA database system, which is required to do the reporting.
So in that case, that HANA database when you're talking about, so it will be in on-premises or cloud?
It can be both. You can put it HANA database on-premise, or you can also put it on Amazon Web Cloud Services.
Oh, thanks.
I have a question from Soumya. Is HANA Live is a separate product? HANA Live is part of your HANA itself. In HANA Studio, you get it, but you need to get a separate license to use the HANA Live reporting. Okay, it's inbuilt feature in HANA Live, but if you want to use it, you need to take a separate license. Okay. Now, if nobody is having a,
Parmin, that you didn't ask my question.
yeah, that's what I'm asking. If nobody is having a question on this sidecar scenario, I will go ahead and ask the last question.
Hello. Hello.
Anyone? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Pramani Prasad this side. And I want, out of curiosity, I want to ask one small question. Like one of my client is working on R3 still now, and will there be a benefit if he is opting for HANA database now, because he is having a future plans for how to say S4 HANA. Now, if he is going to do something with HANA database, whatever you are explained, how it will be working across? Will there be any major change, or it will be similar to ECC? And one more thing is like to the previous things which you said, like 1909, what to say, 1511, 1611, there will be an what to say upgrade which will be happening. If it is required only, the client can be can opt it. That will have a costing you to it. And as per the and my understanding, okay, in ECC there is a patch update. ESP updates are happening. Will there be any patch updates for the previous version, like the versions of 1511 or 1610? If my client, one of my client is having that, will there be any patch update, or there will not be any patch update, any improvements? Like if we need central purchasing, if they are in 1610 and they need a central purchasing options, will that be done or not? That's my questions.
Okay, I got your question. Too many questions. Please be patient. Let me answer one by one. First, I will be answering the question which has been asked from Rath. Guys, please put yourself on mute once you are done with speaking. I am hearing a lot of background noises. Arsh, please help to put people on mute. There are a lot of background noises. Okay, thank you. So the first question from Rath is that if we are going with the step-by-step model, what is going to happen with the periphery systems? Okay, so right now let's giving you example. You are having your ECC system, okay, which is connected to the APO system. Now, when you are switching it, you will be first switching your ECC to S4 HANA. And then this S4 HANA system would be speaking with your APO system. Okay, so you are not move from APO to IBP. Neither it's mandatory. It's not mandatory that when you are moving from ECC to S4 HANA, you also parallelly move from APO to IBP. That's not mandatory. So you can move from ECC to S4 HANA, and APO part can be still same on the same architecture. So one key thing is this is a ABAP stack system technically, and SAP has not changed in S4 HANA also is a ABAP stack system. So all the ALE concepts, IDOCS concepts, or SIF concepts would be working in both of the cases. So to answer it, your periphery systems would be able to speak up. Your periphery systems would be able to integrate with S4 HANA. Okay, but before you switch to S4 HANA, what your technical team does, your technical team, you use some tool called maintenance planner. And they check the impact of moving this ECC to S4 HANA on the periphery systems. In some cases, it can be there. Then when you are moving from ECC to S4 HANA, you need to upgrade APO to the latest version, patch upgrades. Or in some cases, technically, the APO, whatever the database it is using to connect with S4 HANA database version need to be upgraded. That are the technical upgrade which your technical team does, and those analysis happen for the periphery system before you move from ECC to S4 HANA. But in general, your S4 HANA application would be able to talk with the old periphery systems. But an analysis would be required which is a mandatory exercise whenever you move from ECC to S/4HANA. So that is the answer to first question. I would be moving to the second question. Let me give you a screenshot of this. Okay. So second question which was asked is, so can you remind, I think it is Precious, right? But what was your first question?
Hello.
Yeah. Can you remind me your question, please?
Like one of my client is still using R3. Okay, and he have plans for upgrading to S4 at a later point. Okay, will that be benefit if he is going for sidecar scenario? Because for the future update, will there be any benefits? And other question was, like in ECC, there is an HP patch updates are happening frequently. Like frequently means 6 months to a year. Okay, and you told like in 1509, 11, 1610, and if they want to make an upgrade, it will be an costing will be incurring for that, right? And if they want some advanced functionality, will there be any patch update for that version, or they need to move only?
Okay,
Like
I got your
EHPs.
both questions. One is for patch upgrade, and second is this.
Yeah.
Okay, so answer to your first question, your client is on R3. So what we do the IT strategy for them. We strategize that what should be the IT model. Okay, so R3, if they say that I am not going to move, I am working fine R3, I have a small business, I don't want to move to S/4HANA in near future, 3-4 years, but I am looking for some kind of analytics out of it, some kind of analytics, then you can think about using a sidecar scenario for them. But all of the views which you need to develop, you need to do the manual effort. You would not be able to use the HANA live reporting, because HANA live reporting is only generated for ECC part by seeing the ECC data model and structure. So you can use the sidecar scenario technically, and you need to do a lot of manual efforts in that to doing it. The right strategy for that, if you are on R3 and in future you were having in mind that you will move to S/4HANA, the right strategy would be that you move to S/4HANA. Because if you put this R3 and connect with sidecar, and in future when you move to S/4HANA, whatever the effort you are putting it here will go in vain. There would not be any beneficial. This sidecar would not be working with S/4HANA, because you are on R3. S/4HANA implementation you would need to do as a greenfield implementation. Your data model is going to change drastically. Okay, because your data model has been changed, your sidecar scenario will stop working. So again, if you need to put sidecar with S/4HANA, you need to again put the efforts. So in short, to answer your query, if they have planned to move to S/4HANA, before going to sidecar, better to go for S/4HANA first. Now to answer the second question, patch upgrade. Do we have any patch upgrades? Yes, we have a patch upgrades also. We have an enhancement pack updates also with S/4HANA. So I have a specific session to answer that how many different enhancement packs would be there within the version itself. So one is that there's a two changes. One is that enhancement pack version change, EHP 1 to EHP 2 and 3 and 4. And second is that version change. So let's say you are on 1610 and you want to work on the central procurement. Okay, central procurement they have introduced in 1709, which is a version dependent. Okay, then with the patch upgrades you would not be able to use the central procurement. Even you go to the enhancement pack sec 2, enhancement pack 3 or 4, you would not be able to use that functionality. Generally, in enhancement pack in S4 HANA, they have introduced some kind of new Fiori application, a lot of bug fixing, and a lot of performance and the technical improvements to improve the technical side of the solution. The new key function and features come up with the new version. So to use the central procurement, you need to upgrade to 1709. It doesn't have any licensing cost. The only thing is that the effort which was there, let's say we have an enhancement pack upgrade effort, the same way a small project you need to do it. There is no need to have any stoppage or blockage. With the running system itself, over a weekend you can upgrade from 1610 to 1709, but you need to plan it. You need to create your landscape. You need to move to new version first, do a round of testing, getting a confirmation all the scenarios are working, and then to upgrade your production system.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for the information.
Okay, sure. Guys, do we have any questions before we proceed ahead?
Hey,
Yeah,
Parminder.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry, Pramod here. So just on this topic of sidecar scenario, like as one of them mentioned that from R3 to S4 HANA, it's greenfield. So suppose if he is going from ECC to S4 HANA, say after 3 years, will this sidecar manual efforts can be utilized during brownfield implementation, or it is advised directly to go for brownfield instead of sidecar?
Okay, the sidecar would make more sense to you if you are having only one system. Okay, and you are moving, then it's majorly it is more sense to move to S4 HANA. But if you are having a multiple system, okay, and if you also are having a non-SAP systems also, then sidecar make more sense to you, where your one system, let's say the ECC database data, you are bringing it to another system, and then you are having a 2 or 3 more periphery system, SAP system or non-SAP system. That data also you are bringing to the HANA database and getting reporting generated out of it. If that kind of scenarios are there, it will make sense that even with the ECC also you can go with sidecar. And when you upgrade to S4 HANA, you need to again test your sidecar scenarios and reporting to make sure that the data model which has changed for S4 HANA, your views are adapted to that. You need to do some tweaking there. And then you can also use the sidecar with S4 HANA also.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, thanks.
Parminder, question. So I know by 2025 we need to adapt to HANA database. So what are the overcomes? Like, let's say my client is in ECC now, not on Suite for S4, and we opted for HANA database. And in future, if you're trying to move to S4, will there be any helpful if I opt HANA database now? And
Sorry, your voice. Sorry,
can you hear me now?
Your voice got break. Your
Okay.
voice is a little bit shaking. Can you please repeat your question? Maybe you can adjust your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Is it clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So my question is like, if I'm going with ECC, my database as HANA, when I move back to S4 as to Suite S4, what is the benefit? So I can't use whatever I used in ECC, data models or whatever you said. And second question is, when you say 1809, 1709, 1909, is this functionality development or HANA database also develops in this? Is there any improvement coming in?
Yeah, HANA database also get changed. Let's say with 1709, they have adopted to HANA database 2.0. Okay, so that also that in after a certain point of time in 1709 or 1809, if you're going, technically you need to also upgrade your HANA database package to 2.0. So HANA database also get changed, not mandatory in all the versions, but it can also get changed. To answer your first question, I will go ahead because I have not yet spoken about Suite on HANA as of now. We have just spoke about HANA. So let me first speak on Suite on HANA, then I will answer that question. Okay, because other participant would not be knowing even what is Suite on HANA. Okay, so we'll move ahead. So once SAP has released the HANA and the sidecar scenario also, then they have moved to improve it further. So their first application which they have improved was SAP BW. So they go ahead with the BW on HANA. So that is the first application. They made it compatible and use the advanced function and features of HANA. That BW on HANA comes first. So we were able to have a real-time analytics with that, and performance of BW got improved like anything. The complex reports, which takes around 17 to 20 minutes, we were able to generate within 30 seconds with improvement with putting our BW on HANA database. So that kind of improvements you are able to get when BW on HANA has been put it up. Then SAP has moved it further. So from their core product, they touched first time around 2013 when they touched their ECC part, and they come up with Suite on HANA, SOH. So what is Suite on HANA? Suite on HANA means that we would be working on ECC. Our application layer is ECC itself, but I would be updating from my X database system to HANA database system. So my ECC would be working on HANA database system. So in this thing, what is changing here? Only your database is changing. Okay. Only your database is changing. Rest all your component is ECC. All of the functionalities which was available in ECC, it will still be available in ECC. Let's say we said that you cannot create a customer in S4HANA. You need to create a business partner only. That would not be here. Okay, the customer would still be available because it's ECC. Your rebate is still available here. Your simplification in data model is still not there. Okay, only the database change. So what improvement we'll be having from here? The first improvement we'll be getting it from here is your performance. Second improvement you will be getting it from here is your data footprint. Now people would be asking if I am saying it that my data model is not changing, then how come the data footprint will get reduced? So we are having a specific session on the data footprint reduction. We'll go through that, and I will explain that how if you only move to the HANA database, still the data footprint can be reduced. And the third option can be, in this option, actually, you are not, the sidecar is not required. You can club your OLAP plus OLTP. Okay. In sidecar, what we were doing, we were moving our data parallelly from X database to HANA database. In sidecar, there was a live connection between both of them. Right? That's why this was a main car and this is a sidecar. Now in this one, what happened here? If only that is the scenario, where basically you have a single system and you are putting a sidecar for the single system. Here your data is already there on HANA database. Okay. Although you are working on ECC, you can just plug in a BI tool directly from here. Okay. I'll just simplify my drawing. You can just put a BI tool from here and you can run your analytics directly from the HANA database. You can run HANA Live directly from here. So how come it is called OLAP plus OLTP? Although we are using BI, in Sidecar scenario, you have seen that we were using the two databases. One database which was there, X database in ECC, that was OLTP. And one database which is there with the HANA database which was used as a BI, that was OLAP. Now we have reduced from two databases to a single database where OLAP and OLTP has been combined. Okay, so that is what they have come up with Suite on HANA. I will again take a quick pause and then I will ask you that the people who are having a question on Suite on HANA, if their question is still open, they can ask it now. I hope that who has asked the question on Suite on HANA has been answered. Guys, just to recheck, you are able to hear me, right?
Hi, Parminder. Samrat here.
Yes, Samrat.
Yeah, in case of this Suite of HANA, as we are moving the database to the HANA part, so in case this type of scenario, if you run the MRP, the execution will be faster or it's still it will take time?
The MRP would be the faster, but it would not be as fast as is happen in S4HANA. Because in S4HANA, if you run MRP live, that use a different concepts. Okay, the logic itself has been rewritten in S4HANA. Here your logic is same. Okay, your logic is exactly same, but because you are using a HANA database system, the performance would be improved compared to ECC, but not as improved as it is in S4HANA.
Oh, thanks.
Sure. Okay, guys, any other question on Suite on HANA? Okay, if you don't have any other question, let me check on the chat window if there is something. I have a question from Soumya. HANA Live is only for Sidecar and not for Suite on HANA. No, HANA Live you can also use in Suite on HANA also. So your HANA database is there. You can use HANA Live to adopt the out-of-the-box generated reportings from SAP, and then it can be plugged into the BI. You can very much use HANA Live in HANA in Suite on HANA. Okay, let's move ahead. So after that, in 2014 around, SAP has come up with another product, which is Simple Finance. Now, what is Simple Finance? So Simple Finance was an add-on. Okay, make sure you completely don't get confused with this terminology after today's session. So you are having your ECC. You put your ECC, you change your database to HANA database. Plus you did an add-on of Simple Finance. Okay, your basic component is still your ECC. Okay, SAP APPL is basically your core component. This is also asked in certification someplace. That is your core component. So your core component remains same. So in Suite on HANA only the database got changed. In Simple Finance we got add-on of the simple. We also got an add-on for the simplification in finance. So some of the changes, which is basically your single source of truth, your ACDOC table, changes. So some finance related data model changes would also come in simple finance. Okay, so people have a confusion. People ask that if I'm using a simple finance, can I create my sales order? Can I do my SD, MMPP? Can I do my logistics? Yes. In this product, you can do everything the same as a ECC. Only thing is your logistics modules work same as ECC, but simplification is there for finance. Okay, your finance data model called simplified. You'll be having a single source of truth, and some another function and feature has been introduced in simple finance, but logistics remains same. Still you would be able to create, still you would be able to use your rebate management, settlement management is not mandatory. Okay, that kind of stuff you would be able to still use it. For logistics module, still the MRP live is not available. Okay, so logistics module as it is, only simplification for finance. That is a separate product SAP launched in 2014 with simple finance. Then they also come up with a different version, 2 or 3 version of simple finance. So after doing this changing for simple finance, SAP understood that the next thing they need to change is for logistics. But they cannot keep on this doing these changes and coming with the new products. Okay, and then 2015, when they come up with the first cut of their logistics changes, when they come up with their data model changes of logistics, they come up with the product called S4 HANA. Now S4 HANA is become a product which is having us, what database it has? It is having a HANA database. Okay, what simplification it has? It has simplification for finance. It also has a simplification for logistics. Both simplification would be there. Your finance module also got simplified, and your logistics module also got simplified. And then the first version come 15.11, and then they keep on upgrading the versions for it, from 15.11 to 16.10 to 17.09 to 18.09, 19.09. Okay, when they come up with S4 HANA, it's a bigger change. Why it's a bigger change? Because your data model is changing. Your first database is changing. Second, data model is changing. Data model is heart of any application. Okay, everything works on top of the data model, whether it's a transaction or analytics or reporting. If you change your data model itself, you need to change a lot of programming. So programs also has been rewritten. There is also a lot of programming changes here, which SAP has done to adopt to the new data model. And on top of that, they come up with the new features, new Fiori applications. The impact of the Fiori applications you would be able to see first in S4 HANA, although Fiori can work with ECC, Simple Finance, or S4 HANA, but the majorly out of the box Fiori applications start coming up with S4 HANA. And with each version upgrade, SAP has launched more and more Fiori applications. Okay, I will take a quick pause here to check if you are having any questions before we move ahead.
Yeah, Parminder, Tara here.
Yeah, Tara.
So if I summarize it, initially when HANA came, earlier the people used to say like there is nothing new in logistics or PP or something. It's only about database and finance till 2014. And when in 2015, when S4 HANA simple logistics came, major changes in logistics side or production planning or sales that will get started after 2015 only, I guess.
Yes, right. You are perfectly right with your statement. Majorly, the major impact on the logistics started from 2015. 1610 is the major product which we consider where basically a significant improvement in the working stage came up. And then from 1610, they keep on adding new features and functionalities in the logistics.
Got it.
Hey, Parminder, Subodhya. Now coming back to the question which I had parked. Now it's quite clear, but couple of things. One is if there are integration with the other systems, like some other tools or agent toolbox or something, and then you shifted to with ECC. We had a scenario, and now you have shifted to Hana. You mentioned about program rewritten. There are a lot of customization which happens, like user exit changes or Z programs, which are typically in large organizations. So how does that change?
Yeah, correct. So when I have said that a lot of programs has been changed, so that definitely has an impact when you go for the conversion. So we are having a specific session where basically we would be talking about conversion, that what you need to do with the conversion. So in the conversion, whatever the custom code you are having, we need to check all of this custom code. SAP has given the tools for it. Okay, they have given a web cockpit and other tools for it. With that tools, we check the custom code implications, that it is not like that each and every custom code need to change, but there can be the multiple changes we need to do with the custom code. So with those tools, we check it that what is the impact of the what is the impact on the customization, that how many different number of objects we need to change. So that is the first exercise we do before we start the project itself. Now they are the different consulting partners, Accenture, IBM, they are having their own tools. Okay, so when you go with the bidding for it, they charge you a little bit, they will plug in with your system, and then they will be getting an estimation that how many number of ABAP objects need to be simplified. Okay, and based on that, your project duration and project efforts has been calculated. So that impact analysis need to be done, and there are the tools available by which we would be able to change the customized code. The standard code, SAP has already done the changes, we need not to do, but yes, there is an effort would be required to adopt to adopting our customized code to the new data models.
And the second question was on the interfaces, actually. Like when I said about agent toolbox, there are certain non-SAP interfaces. So those, is it direct plugin, or it would still remain the same?
Like just an example?
Example would be something like a third-party logistic provider. Today you have ECC yearly IDOCs which flow from SAP, or maybe an application like Siebel instead of a CRM,
Okay.
which is a non-SAP application, that talking to a SAP application. So would that all still remain same, or you'll have to do some extra exercise during this S4 HANA transition?
So one extra exercise which would be definitely would be required is integration testing. You need to make sure when you are moving to SAP S4 HANA, you have the scenarios where basically you also integrate your quality systems with these systems, and you do your thoroughly integration testing. That effort would be definitely there. You cannot close your eyes, although we say that because it's using a standard IDOC and ALE, and we have already checked through the simplification program that there is no change in that IDOC, but still you need to do the thorough integration testing. And we need to also check, there is a your basis team do this exercise to check, as I said earlier, to check the periphery systems. It's also, they need to check that if we are integrating with the known SAP systems, periphery system, what is the integration, what kind of integration is there, and SAP provide a specific basis tools to make sure that we are aware that if we move to S4 HANA, our integration will not disturb. Okay, So that
Yeah,
checking would be done by basis team. But one thing for sure, even that basis team come with the green, that there is no impact. One thing for sure, don't close your eyes and don't say that we don't need a testing. Please do a thorough testing. We have seen that some surprises can come up.
Okay, sure, Parminder. Thanks a lot.
Raman, hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a small question. Like, if the client wants to upgrade to S/4HANA, which will be advisable? Like, we can go with the normal GUI process or with the Fury process in the phase by phase, because I heard like Fury also through Fury also we need to do a configuration, okay, rather than SPRO. Okay, so if I want to advise a client and they want to go with the latest version, and certain functionality can be processed in SPRO only, or Fury has to be required for the configurations.
Okay, so that answer to that question is, let's say you are on ECC and you are moving to your S/4HANA, the latest version is 1909. So you need to define your scope. What is your scope of implementation? Generally, a step-by-step approach, phase-by-phase approach. We also do that. We are just shifting from ECC to S/4HANA, where basically all of the function and feature which we are using in ECC, same will be using with S/4HANA through GUI. Okay, so the Fury for configuration comes into the picture when you adopt two new features. Let's say, just give an example, you adopt to backorder processing, and now it is not called configuration, it is called key master data sets, which you need to maintain through the Fury, because there is no transport included in that kind of settings. Now you are adopting to AATP. Okay, there is a few AATP configurations which you need to do through SPRO. All the transport related configurations are still done through SPRO that you need to do. And to adopt to the new backorder processing, you need to use the Fury system. If you say that you are not adopting to AATP, your scope for first cut implementation in first phase is to, from ECC, just move to S/4HANA, and user would be using a GUI, they would not be using a Fury. Okay, in the second cut, you would say, now I am implementing AATP, I am implementing BOP, and I am implementing MRP live and DDMRP. Then you will require a Fury applications. Okay, apart from that, all the function features, if you are using ECC, if you are majorly not adding any another function features, you would be able to work similarly as you was working in ECC in S/4HANA through GUI, through the SPRO configurations.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, guys, before we proceed ahead? Okay, if you don't have any question, let's proceed ahead. Okay, let me have a quick check on time. Yeah, we still have a little bit of time. So what I will do, we have discussed about different products now, right? So let's quickly compare our products. So if we do the comparison on the different products in ECC, Suite on HANA, Simple Finance, and S/4HANA, let's see that how different they are. What kind of function and features would be different. So I would try to create that table for you here itself. So the one product we are having is S/4HANA. Then we discuss about Simple Finance. Then we discussed about Suite on HANA, and then ECC. Okay, and here we will be discussing about features. Now, first thing is your core ECC process. Core ECC processes which was available in ECC, it would be also available in your ECC. Suite on HANA is also available. Simple Finance, this is, if people are getting confused, this is Simple Finance is also available. S/4HANA is also available. Then if we talk about all modules and features, all modules and features would be available in ECC, Suite on HANA, Simple Finance. Here for S/4HANA, I will put cross. All modules and features available in ECC. Because in S/4HANA, due to simplification, they have removed out some of the functionalities. Let's say the creation of customer has been changed to creation of business partner. Your rebate functionality has been removed, and now we need to go with the settlement management. Because of that kind of changes, S/4HANA can have additional function and features. In existing ECC functionalities, there can be some functionalities for which you need to do some adoption in an S/4HANA, which would not be working in the same way, but there are alternatives provided for it. HANA database, we don't have in ECC. Suite on HANA, yes, we'll be having a database. Simple Finance and S/4HANA, these three are on the HANA database. Embedded analytics. Let me also put some dotted line here. Embedded analytics, it is not available in ECC, Suite on HANA, Simple Finance, or we also call it sometime embedded BI. Okay, it would be available in your S/4HANA. Fiori. The question has been asked in certification also. People generally wrongly answer this question. Fiori can work with all of this. Fiori is not a new thing. Fiori is a very old thing. Even Fiori can work with ECC also. So within the Fiori, out of box simplified apps for HANA. If this has been asked, out of box simplified apps for HANA, although there are some out of box SAP has launched for ECC also, but those are very few. This is only available, few apps are there in Simple Finance, but majorly it is in S/4HANA. Okay, what else you want to do the so another thing is that let's talk about the project effort to move from ECC. Because we are moving from ECC, this is not applicable. So if you want to move from ECC to Suite on HANA, okay, your project effort would be medium. If you want to move your from ECC to Simple Finance, your project efforts would be high. If you want to move from ECC to S/4HANA, your project efforts would be very high. And what are the options available to upgrade here? We can upgrade through conversion or greenfield implementation. This also can be done through conversion or greenfield implementation. Suite on HANA can be an upgrade because only the database is changing. The application layer is not changing. It's only an upgrade. This is not applicable again. Okay. One thing I will also write it here, your core component. Your core component is SAP underscore APPL. This is core component for your application layer. The core component is same in all of these three, SAP underscore APPL. This they have also written in some of the books also, this terminology they have used. But for S4 HANA, actually your application layer changed to S4 core. Your application core is S4 core in S4 HANA. All another three, your application layer remains same as SAP underscore APPL. So this is a quick comparison between the different tools, between the different products of SAP, which SAP has provided. So if you have any questions, you can ask it now. This would be the last topic which we are covering today. Any generic questions you have, you can also ask after this comparison.
Yeah, Parminder, Pramod here.
Yeah, Pramod.
Yeah, so basically now I heard that going ahead in ECC in S4 HANA, it will be warehouse management will be, I think, EWM, extended warehouse management. And suppose the company where I am working, it's a client, like, so if we don't have warehouse management currently, and we have a third-party warehouse system, it's not SAP. And suppose if we want to switch over to SAP warehouse management, once we go to S4 HANA, should we go directly to EWM, or is there a warehouse management basic functionalities still embedded into it?
So my recommendation would be for your IT strategy, if you are not using WM of ECC as of now, okay, you have not used WM of ECC, and you don't want to go ahead in future with the third-party WMS system, you are not happy with them, okay, and you are looking for a new solution for your WM, right?
Yeah.
Don't go through the basic WM of S4HANA, although it is available as of now, but would be obsoleted in future. So in that case, you directly implement EWM on S4HANA.
Okay, but still like if I don't want to activate like extended functionalities, I can still go with the EWM and do basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, EWM also they have given, they are coming up with the 2-3 packages. So one package they have, I said that I would also be covering, the basic of EWM in our last sessions. So they have also coming with one package which is called classic EWM. So
Okay.
classic EWM would be having the same functionalities which your WM was having in ECC.
Okay.
Okay, and for that you would not be you would not require to pay any additional things. When you go for advanced EWM, which is having a proper EWM functionalities, then you need to pay extra. So you have a different options to select.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Thanks. Got it.
Sure. Okay, guys. Any another question do we have? Before please go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned about a few features which were available in ECC would not be available, like something like rebate settlement and all. So when you say it's not available, rebates as a functionality, how would that be, that business process be treated in S4 HANA?
Yeah, so the what S4HANA is doing, they are not saying that you would not be able to manage rebates. Rebates is not available. Rebates are available, but the technical solution is settlement management. So you would be hearing this terminology again and again from my mouth is principle of one. So in ECC, you can manage your rebate with the SD functionality, which is rebate management, or with your settlement management. Settlement management is nothing which is coming new in S4HANA. Settlement management is also there in ECC. But we have a two option in ECC. We have a rebate with the sales functionality, and second thing with the settlement management. With S4HANA, they are saying that with the principle of one, they are obsoleting the multiple options and features. If you want to manage your rebates, the only option would be to manage it through the settlement management. So you would be having a different conditional contracts which you need to create it to manage your rebates. So rebate is available, but the way it is handled is changed.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So you will be providing us a list of such functionality in the sessions ahead, is it?
We'll be discussing in detail all of these functionalities.
Okay.
I will be going in the detail of the settlement management, and we'll do one round of cycle with settlement management.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Panu.
Yeah, hi Parminder, Samrat here.
Yes, Samrat.
Yeah, actually, Parminder, for our current project, which I have worked, in that case, we are not use Fury tiles. We have done all the configuration in SPRO, but that is the part of the S4 HANA project only. So we'll say that's a complete S4 HANA, or it will consider as a suite for HANA.
No, not using a Fiori, it doesn't mean that it would be it is not S4 HANA. We also have done. I have done two projects where basically we have done S4 HANA implementation, but business has not adopted to Fiori. It doesn't mean that they would never be adopting it to Fiori. They would be adopting it to Fiori, but that is a phase by phase approach. So with the first cut of go live, we just went ahead with S4 HANA with GUI, and in the second cut, we would be going ahead with the in the second cut we will be going ahead with the implementation of Fiori.
Okay, so but in that case where we doesn't use the Fury tiles, I haven't observed any changes. Means from functional point of view, the things seem to me same as we have performed in ECC.
Yeah, that's right. So if you don't adopt to the advanced feature, Samrat, can you mute yourself because I'm getting an echo of my voice. Yeah, yeah. Now it's fine. Maybe you have put it yourself on speaker or something. That's why the echo is coming. Yeah. So if you are not using any advanced function and feature, let's say you are on 1610. 1610 comes with a very beautiful Fiori applications in order fulfillment, where you can handle your multiple issues in order fulfillment, and it's also give you insights in order fulfillment, but you are not using it as a business. You have not adopted to it. Okay, you can still run your order to cash same as a GUI with the transaction which you are doing in ECC. It will work perfectly fine in SAP S4HANA also. You are working with ATP in ECC, and S4HANA also you are working working with ATP. You have not adopted for advanced available to promise. So your ATP would work same as it was working in ECC and in S4HANA also. The only changes you will be seeing is the performance improvements you will see. So this happens due to the two cases. One case is that because what I have faced that the people who are there, the consultants who are there in implementations, they themselves are not aware that a lot of good function features are available, and they have not tried their hands. Okay, so they are not confident enough to first showcase to the business that this is a good and new advanced functionality features available, and they are not able to explain that how it will generate a benefits for a business. So that one thing is it is happening that multiple projects people has moved to S4 HANA, but they still don't see the advantage from S4 HANA because consultants are not able to show them the advanced function features and to show them how it would be beneficial for them. Second thing is that the business also want to switch to S4 HANA in a smaller project. So when they want to switch to S4 HANA in a smaller project, let's say the 6-month project or 4 to 6 month project, they want to switch to S4 HANA. even as an implementation partner, we also advise them to reduce the cost of the project, take Fiori in the second cut. Okay. If you also include the Fiori, if you also include all the advanced function and features, you require more consultant and the length of project would be longer. So the expenses on the project would be higher. So with the agile approach, you can go ahead with first S4HANA and then adopt one by one the new functionalities. It totally depends on your scope and your implementation partner. If they have a good consultant who can consult you, the good function features which can make their user life better, you can definitely adopt to the functionality. I don't see any reason some of very basic functionality, very, very good in nature. Let's say the Google search, I call it as a Google search, but Fiori search functionality, which is a very beautiful functionality, why anyone who has moved to S4HANA should not adopt to it.
Yeah, one more thing. One question is there, Parminder. Many client when I worked, I have observed that they use some different tools for doing the some other activity like. And I have right now, they are using for the capacity planning. They are using your different tools. They are not doing that particular task in SAP. So when this particular client is also in a phase of S4HANA migration. So once if this scenario comes that say the client they will migrate to the S4HANA. So in this sort of scenario where they are using any third-party tool, how will handle?
Okay, so that totally depends. Again, some issues there with microphone. Please go on mute. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so to answer your question, this all depends what is your scope. So you have one functionality which you are using it from some third-party tool. That functionality is also available in S4HANA. During the implementation, do you want to switch that functionality to S4HANA and adopt to that functionality? If that is your scope, you can do it with S4HANA implementation project itself, but it will increase your scope. Okay. Generally, nowadays, what we have seen that when we are going for bidding for the projects, they want to do S4HANA project with the minimum cost. So to reduce the cost, what is happening, to reduce the period of the project, what is going to happen, we need to limit the scope. So if you limit the scope, you said that, okay, this third-party tool I'm using, I will still be using it outside, and then we will be having a offline or online integration, and the adoption to the new S4HANA functionalities like PPDS, we will be doing later. Generally, this is the adopted approach. First cut, you go with S4HANA, and if your second sprint, you adopt to the new functionalities like PPDS. You got it, right?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Pablo.
Hey, one question. What is like we have MRP live and we have beautiful features in S4HANA. Why are clients still going with IBP can access a third-party system?
Why IBP? Is that your question?
Yes, yes.
IBP has a SAP product which has a different functions. So S4HANA has MRP solution. S4HANA has your within MRP, it has a MRP Live, DDMRP solution. Now it has a PPDS solution, but it doesn't have a solution which is there in IBP. So your demand management solution is there in IBP. Your supply network planning is a solution in IBP. I have one slide which will be going through tomorrow to answer your question. That is a miscommunication I have heard from the multiple places and the multiple trainees, and even the clients have this misconcept. They think that when I am using ECC, when I switch to S4 HANA, this is a single platform which will answer everything. To answer everything. However, this statement is wrong. S4 HANA would not be answering everything, although we can say S4 HANA can answer many things, but not everything. Still, SAP has a lot of different products which would be having the answer to different business scenario and functionalities and features. Okay, you still would be having a hybrid system, and you are having a Ariba system, then you are having an IBP system. So I will take you through that. What is the strategy of different products for SAP? Multiple products are merging into S4 HANA, but it doesn't mean that all of the products are merging into S4 HANA. Still, there would be a separate products would be there, which is not part of S4 HANA, which we need to adopt it separately. So guys, our tomorrow session would be there at same time. As I've said earlier, that tomorrow session, which is a Monday morning session for India people, and a Sunday night session for the US people, is only till the time of COVID. Okay, and once this once we will be over with the lockdown and everything, then we'll be having a 2 session in a week. So tomorrow we will be meeting at the same time. The link you would be getting in your emails, and the people who has already enrolled for the course, you can check the website link which I have shared with you. Okay, from that link you would be getting a link for tomorrow's meeting. People who are still not enrolled, they can go to our website and they can do the enrollment. We will be only allowing people who has not enrolled till tomorrow session. After tomorrow session, will not be allowing anyone who is not enrolled. Only the enrolled student would be joining in. So you can go to our website. You can go to the instructor-led training. Arsh, can you pass on to link to everyone? If you're not enrolled, you need to go to this page to get your enrollment done. And the enrolled students, if you are still not signed up, the link has been shared with you. Support team has shared a link with you. Please go through that. Enroll, do the sign up on the website so that we can share the different accesses with you. Okay, guys, anyone has any kind of questions before we close it for today?
Parminder, you meant there will be a link sent for the enrolled students to sign up on the website, is it? Or are we just log in to the link tomorrow?
No, so you might have checked your email box and you have got an email from support@sastrageek.com. That is linked for this page. Let me quickly show you. Simple S log, April 20. So in this page, right now we are communicating through emails, which next 2-3 session will keep on communicating the links to join the session through the emails. But after that, you need to come here, and from here you would be getting all the details which you want to get. So the Zoom link would be here. The recording session links, we will be putting it here. The session note and the scribbling which I have done on the screen, you will be getting a link for that from here.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so if you will go to this page, let's say, let me go to the incognito window. It will ask for the sign off. It will ask you to do the sign up, or if you have already done the sign up, you need to go to the login. So once you do the sign up, admin team will provide access to you for that page. Okay, you can sign up with the Google, or you can also sign up with the Facebook.
Yeah, Parvinder, actually I tried yesterday in this particular link to sign up. There is some error, it is showing.
Okay, okay. So if you are facing an issue with sign up, you can continue on this call. I will ask Arch to explain you how to do the sign up. Yeah, Mayur, please go ahead. You have any question?
Yeah, I'm having the same issue with the sign up. I could not sign up. I mean, I already done the sign up on your website, but I could not get into this particular S-log.
Yeah, so Arch, I see that Mayur has already signed up. So have you provided, have you shared the access with Mayur yet?
No, we didn't share the access yet. I am sharing it now.
Okay, and how about Samrat?
No, we didn't share anyone.
No, but Samrat, can you see that Samrat is already signed up?
Okay, let me check.
Okay, okay. So I think the support team still need to share the access for it. They would be accessing, they will be sharing the access right away. And Samrat, Arch will contact with you after sharing the access. If you are still not be able to access, he will help you out.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys,
So,
thank you.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Mayur.
Hi, hello, sir. So you would be sharing all the recordings with all of us with this recording? So how
Yeah,
it is done?
So it would be like this. So in this page, you will get a link here.
Okay.
Okay, and in this link, when you will be clicking up, the recording will play. And one more link you will be having here for the session notes. So whatever the deck I was following, I have done a lot of scribbling. When you have, you will click it here, you will go to that part where you will be able to access it, the session notes. So everything would be able to access from here itself, from this page.
So tomorrow would be the same timings, right? For the
Same time.
session.
The time is going to remain same. You can come and check the schedule from here. We have a session on 20th, and then after 20th, the next session would be as per IST 25th and as per CST on 24th.
Okay.
Hi, Praminder. I have shared the access with the members.
With both Samrat and Mayur?
Right.
Samrat and Mayur, can you please try to check right away?
Yeah, I will. Okay. I will check and I will let you know.
I'm also putting into the chat window this link.
I'm just checking.
Let me also quickly check if there is any question unanswered in the chat window. No, we have answered already all the questions.
Yeah, I can able to access. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Please don't miss tomorrow's session. We'll be proceeding ahead from here. I will explain first what we have discussed today, and then briefly summarize what we have discussed today, and we'll continue our journey. Thank you for joining. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.